This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
It's Staycation Destinations on Family Life. On today's trip, inspired by Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, it's time to take a ride on a trolley. Each week, all summer long, we map out unique opportunities for you to discover somewhere unique in Pennsylvania or New York, fairly close to home and fairly affordable. I'm Greg Gillespie, and today our Staycation Destination takes us to Washington County, Pennsylvania.
Welcome to the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum. My name is Gary Milaskovitz. I'm a tour guide here. Been with them for over a year. Now currently retired, and I spend my time as a volunteer here 2 days a week.
We've just come in the main lobby here at the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum.
Well,
where do you want to show us first?
The first thing I want to point out is that this is our brand new, newly opened Welcome and Education Center. This opened this past November, years in the making. This here serves as an educational stop, especially for the younger people who haven't rode on trolleys. It explains the horns, the whistles, a lot of things that they don't interact with today because of the use of automobiles. They've never been on a trolley before. Mm-hmm. They've been on school buses, they know that, but it's a completely different thing when they see and learn about the trolley and its use in the creation of public transportation.
Show us what else is in the educational space here.
Bells and horns. 2 bells mean you're going forward. 3 bells, you're going backwards. So the car will tell you what it's going to do to those outside the car. The horns are always used going across roads.
Let's sample some of these if we could here.
We'll start with a short horn. Short, long, and bell. And then you can put them in any sequence that you want. It's standard to go long, short, long. That's when you're crossing the main streets. It is Morse code for the letter Q. And so that was developed, in England. Prior to there being cars and planes, the Queen at the time was Queen Victoria. She rode on trains and boats. And when she was on board, they would signal Q by Morse code to indicate everyone in the harbor or around that the Queen was on board and that she would take precedent.
That's priority one.
Yep.
Long, short, long. And then Queen is coming.
Yep. And so after World War II, it was adopted here in the States.
So if you're a trolley
today,
or a freight train or anything
train today,
coming to a...
Correct.
If you're driving up to a railroad crossing, listen for
that pattern.
Wonderful,
We
Gary.
tell all our visitors as we go across Main Street to listen to that.
During my visit to the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum, 3 generations of a Wexford family was visiting, and we got permission to talk with 2 of the young people who were playing on a simulator at the Trolley Museum, Grayson and Christian.
Bell's right here, the horn. The horn's right here, the bell's right here.
Okay. Up on the screen, it's got a countdown. And we're listening to it speed up. It's going up 11 miles an hour. And it shows you've got a speed limit. It drove past a school bus on the adjoining road.
And then there's a cow that goes onto the train track and you have to honk the horn at it. Christian, whenever Daisy comes out.
Daisy is the cow that comes out, and you don't want to bump into Daisy, and so when you see that on the screen, what are you going to do?
Stop. Or honk the horn.
Oh, there's a cow on the tracks. And they've applied the brakes. We hear the horn. And the cow has walked past. And you have safely made this trip. Congratulations, guys. How do you like all the things that you see at the Trolley Museum?
I like this the best. Things. You can ride a trolley and some fun things over there, like games.
And you 2 have been on one of the rides today?
Yes.
What was that like for you?
It was fun, like seeing everything and how it would, like, learning the history of the trolley we were on. I like hitting it 3 times.
I wanted to follow up on what families enjoy most about the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum. I was going to ask my tour guide, Gary Molaskovitz, but we got interrupted by an overhead announcement.
The interesting part is...
Car 78 is now boarding and just outside the Welcome and Education Center.
Are you going to take a ride today?
Let's do that.
2 things I want to talk to you guys about is please stay seated while the car's in motion. We may have to come to a sudden stop. And please keep hands inside the windows at all times. Without that, I guess we'll get on our way.
You mentioned 3 bells is backwards, 2
Yep,
is
you'll
forward.
hear them. You'll hear them as we move. You'll hear the horns as we go. 2 bells, and there we go. As we go across the road here, you're going to hear that whistle indicating cue.
Let's listen.
That was your cue.
Gary Molaskovitz is a volunteer tour guide at the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum, celebrating a century of that form of transportation. There's bonus content on our podcast page as Molaskovitz talks more about what children and families enjoy about the museum and why he is motivated to volunteer to help people understand trolleys. The Pennsylvania Trolley Museum is at Washington, Pennsylvania, just southwest of Pittsburgh. Thanks for coming along for Staycation Destinations. I'm Greg Gillespie. Buckle up and enjoy your journeys.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.